Welcome, 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 everybody, to this new episode of Spanish Loop. So happy to see all of you one more week joining Jorge. Hola, Jorge.
Hola, Francisco.
And myself. Here we are, one more week, ready to talk about traveling. This week, we're not going to be just talking about Spain, we're going to be talking about general traveling.
That's true. That's right. But Francisco, let's get our intro and
Let's get
then
some music.
we'll be back in a moment. Francisco, you said something about general traveling tips or something like that. What were you talking about? What
See,
do you
see,
mean?
see. This week, we
Yeah.
don't want to focus our conversation in Spain, in Spanish traveling, and about Spanish history. We want to talk about general travel tips.
Well, I
Right
mean,
now,
that includes also Spain, of course.
also Spain,
Okay,
yes. I mean,
good.
one of the things, one of the big hot topics around the world right now, it's the pickpockets.
Oh, yes.
And well, to our listeners, here you have two avid tour guides. We have been guiding for the last 20 years. We have seen pickpockets in action. We have seen what we think are the best tricks, techniques to try to not be pickpocketed. As I said, this is not going to be about Spain. This is something terrible that happens in Paris, in Rome, in New York, in Greece,
In London, in
everywhere, in
everywhere.
London, everywhere you can be pickpocketed.
Hmm.
And that's the topic of this week.
Right. And Francisco, I believe that you have gone through some experiences, right? The same as I have. What tour guide hasn't gone through that not so pleasant experience? And obviously the traveler, having a nervous breakdown at that moment. But anyway, now that you mentioned that this is going to be a topic, you have the honor to start
Just
this conversation. Go ahead.
so, if we start the conversation, first of all, when we travel, we need to travel relax and safe and not, get this cloud. I'm gonna be pickpocketed. No, just travel wise.
Hmm.
The first thing we need to do is leave behind, meaning at the hotel, what you don't need.
Hmm.
99% of hotels around the world right now they have a safety deposit box.
Hmm.
Leave there everything. You
Yeah.
don't need to carry your passport, your ID, three credit cards, your the whole thing. No, leave as much as possible behind. Get only one credit card and one piece of ID that I would recommend you not to take with you on the streets, the passport. Make a copy out of it so they
Yeah.
know who you are.
Yeah.
Leave everything on the safety deposit box. And here's the first tip. What I do when I travel with my family and I have our five passports, we put them on the inside of the safety deposit box. And inside of that safety deposit box, I put one shoe. Why? You
One
might leave,
shoe.
well, you might leave your hotel without your passport. So you forgot your passport in the safety deposit box and now you're in the airport. But you will never forget one shoe. This is going to be the other
Oh,
shoe.
what a wonderful idea.
So if you drop something that you for sure are going to need, you're going to pack one shoe. Oh, where's the other one? Oh my God, it's on the safety deposit box. Let's take the passports out. So,
Hmm.
first tip, leave as much things as the more valuable things, especially credit cards and passports, on your hotel and
Hmm.
put something that you will need to travel with. Pair of shoes, your glasses. Well, no, you're gonna need glasses to go on the streets. To me, I always put one shoe.
Yeah.
One shoe, it's like something so absurd that is the shoe.
Yeah.
And that means shoe and the credit cards and the whole thing.
Yeah.
Personally, I always travel with a plastic bag
Yeah.
and I put everything inside of one plastic bag. So I don't have like the five passports and two credit cards flying. No, everything in one plastic bag. Boom, there.
I have a suggestion regarding the safety deposit box, which is okay. It just came out with the last thing that you said about a plastic bag. Even if you don't have a plastic bag, in most of the hotels amenities that you have in your bathroom, even if you have already used it, go down to reception and ask for a shower cap.
Good idea.
and use that to put the shoe in. It just occurred to me.
That's a great idea. I mean,
Yeah,
something that all your good things, all your
yeah,
goodies are together.
yeah,
So you don't forget one credit card, one passport. No,
yeah.
everything is together. And that's a great idea.
And regarding passports, for reasons that doesn't come to talk to about now. Nowadays, because previous scams in major sites like it was in the past in the Alhambra, like it was and now it's happening also in Sevilla, the Alcázar. Now they're going to implement the same thing in the Coliseo at Rome. Tickets are nominal
Yeah.
and they are with a QR code, so you need to have the original of your passport with you. They also accept some kind of ID that comes with a photo. So because we Spaniards, we do have ID cards, but in Canada, in the United States, in many other countries, they don't have an ID per se, but that works as an ID. So that is also valid. Although I have to tell that in the Alhambra, for instance, in Spain, they do require the passport because they actually scan your passport, not
Mhm.
the ticket. They need to see that the passport is already registered in their system. So that would be the exception. And for that, my strong recommendation is to have a money belt.
That's the second, to me, the
Hmm.
most valuable thing when you
Yeah,
travel, have a money belt. I know it's not flattering and you have something there in your stomach for the whole day.
yeah,
Half an hour after you wear it, you're so used to it that you forget about it. And
that's
all
right.
the good, important things are
Yeah.
inside of your pants.
Uh-huh.
Nobody is going to touch that.
True, true,
So,
and also Francisco as well is the I mean you mentioned something really good, which is if you have 17 credit cards, you don't need them all with you. Just take one. And you know what I do when I travel abroad? I just buy a pre-charged credit card. So
okay,
let's say that I put, just to say, if I'm going to stay, most of the times, whenever I travel abroad, I pay with plastic, okay? With my,
we all do.
with that prepaid credit card, all right?
Okay, so you put money in that credit card,
Yeah.
and that's as much as they can steal from
Yeah.
you.
Here, for instance, I know that in the United States, you can buy prepaid credit cards up to a certain limits. Let's say that the biggest one that you can buy in amount is $300, and you think you're going to need more than that, buy two. Okay, buy two prepaid. So what happens if that car is stolen? Then they're not going to take more than that. You don't need the credit card that you use at home or your debit card that you use at home. I mean, you can do it if the limit is set up to a certain amount, of course. But with that, no problem at all. And that's what I do. So
Yeah,
I know that if I'm going to lose it, not pickpocket, even losing it, once I did lose one that luckily it was almost empty. It was barely 100 euros. Yeah, of course. I mean, 100 euros, that means two meals. But hey,
yeah.
I prefer
That's all
that.
you have stolen.
Yeah, I prefer that instead of everything else.
Okay, talking about credit cards and using it on ATM machines.
Oh, yes, I know what you're going
Important.
to talk about.
Always go to a bank,
Yeah.
not one of those ATM machines that look like ATM. No, go
Yeah.
to a bank that
You,
says,
you're talking about those that they are in blue and yellow and they say Euronet in
yeah,
Europe. That's a
don't do that.
scam. That's a
That's
scam.
a
I mean,
scam.
the
I
change
mean,
is ridiculous. It's
yeah.
stupid. Yeah.
So go to a normal bank and get
Mm.
money from an ATM. Something important. Most
Yeah.
of the ATMs in Europe,
And when you
when you
say go to a bank, you mean an ATM which is
ATM
attached to a
attached to
bank.
the bank. There we go.
Okay. And in the ATM doesn't say ATM. It says the name of the
The name
bank
of the
on
bank.
it.
There we
Good.
go.
Yeah.
So,
That's a good tip.
so when you go to withdraw money,
Mm.
a lot of times they go, you put the code, this is the money. And one of the things that is very important in the United States and Canada, most of the ATM machines, first they give you the money and then they give you the credit card. Here in Europe, it's the other way around. I know in the United States it's beginning to change, and in Canada, here first always comes out the credit card and then the money will come out. What has happened 100,000 million times is that American customers put that and they're looking at the little slot where the money comes out. But on the other side is your credit card saying, hey, pick me up, pick me up, pick me up. If you don't pick that credit card, the machine will swallow it because it understands that you have forgot about the credit card, and you will have no credit card and you will have no cash.
And
So
and then, and then
always,
and then you will have to go the following morning, but maybe the following morning you're moving to
you're
another
already in
side.
unknown city.
Yeah.
There we go. So always credit card first, money second.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So going back to the pickpockets, I mean crowded areas, and crowded areas includes public transit. If we are, I mean, because most of the times we try our people to immerse in everyday life here, and to have a little of a like a local experience, just riding a bus because we have our public transit system in Europe is a different universe to what it is at the other side of the Atlantic. Okay, here people rely on public transportation because they are very reliable, they're very clean, they're very constant, and they take you from A to B. Even you have to transfer, either it is underground or ground transportation, buses or metro. So what happens? Obviously, there are going to be crowded places, and I always tell my people, look, just if you have ladies, especially if it is winter or you're wearing a coat or a jacket, just put the purse across your chest, okay? And if it
In
has any
front.
zippers, just put it on the inside and your jacket on top of it and the bag in front of you. We don't try to scare you at all. These are little tips that will avoid you to have a bad time when you are there just to relax. And the less that you take, the better. Don't you think,
Yes.
Francisco?
You're so right. I mean, you don't need half of the things. A lot of times we carry way too much,
Hmm.
especially the wallets. I mean,
Yeah.
normally we have a wallet with all the credit cards, with money, and you just put it on the backpack and that's it.
Mm.
No,
No.
leave all of that behind. Leave it on the hotel.
Mm.
Hotel safes are safe. I mean,
Hmm. That's what they
unless
are
you go
for.
to
That's
a
what they're
where,
for.
yeah, that's what they're for. And in normal hotels, they're very, very, very safe.
Hmm.
You're saying it. Those backpacks are pickpocketers' dreams. If you
Yeah.
have your backpack on the back, something's going to be missing, yes or yes.
Yeah.
So, backpack, always, the moment you see a, when you travel with a group and we all look tourists, especially if you're wearing a whisper, a listening device,
Yeah.
it's like, we're tourists, we're tourists. We're
You
calling
you have
out.
a sign here.
I mean, we'll
Hey,
have yeah, it's
I'm
like,
here.
pickpocket me.
Yeah.
So it's the moment to be wiser than the people who are extremely wise, which are
Sure.
the pickpocketers.
Yeah.
They are trained. They know what they're doing. They are sometimes they really deserve an Academy Award because they know how to steal from you.
Hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
So it's super easy. Just put your backpack in front of you, all the zippers closed. What I do when in many places you have not in one zipper, you have two zipper openers. I tie them. You can have a lock, you can have a little thread. Just make it difficult for the pickpocketer.
Sure.
One thing that I have to say, and this goes for you, gentlemen, a lot of us, we wear all of these multi pocket pants. It's on my pocket. Nobody's going to steal it.
Hmm.
Yes, they will. How many times, Jorge, you have heard, but it was on my pocket. I told you, do not wear on those pockets on the side of the leg. You don't feel, you don't have, they're so good at stealing from those that never, ever, ever wear them, but don't put valuable things in them.
Let me tell you an anecdote that happened to me years, many, many years ago. Barcelona. Okay, Barcelona is another hotspot for pickpockets. I told everybody, okay, we need to leave the bus here. We're not allowed to go to the Sagrada Familia store with the bus, is the law. So we
Mhm.
had to walk like about 3 blocks. And you need to know where we're going. So I need to lead the way. Please, this is the route that all groups are going through. It's pickpockets paradise. So please be aware of everything. So just like about a block before reaching the Sagrada Familia, I was listening some screens behind me, people calling me, "Oh, wait, 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 wait!" And it was a man that it was. Hey, my phone has just disappeared, and it was here in my pocket in one of those side pockets, cargo pants, zipper, and and then I said to him, "But oh my God, didn't you hear what I said on the bus? It is just a little bit of cautious of here. But anyway, I have to take the group into here." So he was blaming me for not being with him,
Yeah.
and I had such a terrible time. But anyway, I don't blame them at all. I mean, who can expect that? Even myself, Francisco, in the old days when you have to line up to get a ticket to the Sagrada Familia, okay, when the sales online were not so popular as they are now, uh, a pregnant lady tried to steal something out of my bag. Whether if she was pregnant in real life or
Real
not, or
life
she
or
had
not.
a pillow, I will never know. But I just caught her hand, her wrist, just like that. Say, "What the hell are you doing? Just leave me alone." "Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't in the mean. Blah, 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 blah." She was Spanish.
Yeah.
I mean, she spoke in Spanish. She wasn't Spanish. She was a
Yes.
Roma. She was a Roma.
No.
Okay,
But
and
that's yeah.
but they are dressed as tourists. They are.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
I mean they are dragged in caps, ponytails, sneakers, fancy clothes, nothing that will make you suspect on a first sight. And
Yeah.
when you said that we are men used to have all our things in all these multi-pockets, cargo pants things, if you go with one of those, and this also applies for ladies that wear pants, if you go with anything in your pockets in the Paris metro,
That's
you
it. That was the
consider
last time you saw it.
consider it lost.
Yeah.
Consider it
That is
lost.
like to me as a funny thing when I wear cargo pants, I wear my handkerchief. You want to steal something? Steal use handkerchief.
Now that you said about that, one of the things I always recommend to my people is instead of if you want to carry some cash with you, fine, carry some cash with you in your money belt.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, have a small amount of money, something like about 10 or 20 euros banknote in your pocket in case you want to go for a 10 minutes break or 15 minutes
For
break in our
coffee.
schedule, you want to go for a coffee and have that handy. So you don't have to put your hands inside your clothes and try to
Okay.
unsip and look for the right amount of money. Just have that money handy. But also worse, in case you're pickpocket, if the thief feels that that is some money, they will be just satisfied with that. And that will be everything that you've lost,
Yeah.
either
Well,
10
good tip.
or 20 euros, you know?
Let's minimize the the
Correct.
stress.
Correct. That's right.
Okay, Jorge, don't you
Yeah.
think that telephones deserve a special place in these pickpockets? Because now we
Yeah.
all go with our telephone in the hands,
Mm.
and uh, these I have seen in Paris. You have these beautiful little petite little tables in a cafe, and you're there relaxing, and you're taking a selfie, and you're taking a picture, and yeah, and you leave the telephone on the table.
At the table. Yeah.
That's it. You're not going to see it again. I
Mm.
have seen this gentleman. He was reading the newspaper, and he tripped. He tripped with one of those tables, and he went. It was like nothing. Somebody has tripped. A few minutes later, where's my telephone? Where's my telephone? I'm like, I think I know the guy that
Yeah.
just tripped. That's it.
Hmm.
So to me, a great thing now everywhere around the world, you have all of these case protecting cases that you can buy
Yeah. With a cord.
with a cord. Buy the cord. They're going to cost you 10 euros maximum, the cord.
Hmm.
And it's always hanging. It's always in your chest. I I wear shirts. So
Yeah.
normally what I do is when I'm walking, I put it inside of my shirt,
Good
hanging
tip.
inside of the
Good
shirt.
tip. Yeah.
So, or put it inside of your t-shirt. And I know we're tempted to have the telephone to take a picture. I have seen people taking a picture, and as they're taking the picture, whoom, they get
Yeah.
it from a bicycle,
Yeah.
woo, and they
Yeah.
fly away.
That's right.
So
That's right. Yeah.
it's incredible the telephone stealing, how
Yeah.
much it is. And remember that in our telephones, we have everything. We have our pictures, access to credit cards, access to absolutely everything is on our telephone.
That's
Please
true.
be wise. It protected like nobody else. Right?
Yeah,
So really,
that's
really,
true.
really, you need to protect it.
You know what's the funny part about what you just said on having the phone hanging from your neck with a cord and a
Mhm.
case inside of your shirt or your pullover or whatever you're wearing? If you have a vibration mode and someone calls you, it's like, oh, somebody's calling me. I've seen that. I have witnessed that. I was talking to a lady once not so long ago, and they were telling me, oh, wait a minute. I said, what's happening? Yeah, I was like, somebody's calling me. So she pulled her hand.
It's like, woo, you can have a fun moment.
So, Francisco, tell me, which is the more bizarre thing that ever happened to you in your while carrying groups from one place
So
to another?
more, so I was with a group in Heathrow,
Yeah,
and it didn't happen to my group. Okay, it was we reported it. There was this guy. He was carrying his trolley bag, okay, and suddenly he stopped on one of the banners where it says the flights and everything, and he had the trolley by himself. I mean, literally by himself. Suddenly, somebody else came to see the same panel, and this guy, pickpocketer, he had a big suitcase with him. And what he did is he lifted his suitcase and he had a hole underneath the suitcase and covered the other guy's trolley.
yeah.
And suddenly the trolley was gone. Suddenly, in that same moment, the guy was like, "Where's my trolley? Where's my trolley?" And the guy who has his big suitcase inside of that suitcase, it was the other guy's. He's like, "I saw a guy running that way." I mean, it's like, "Oh my god, I think it's that guy." And my people were like, "No, no, 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 no! Stop that guy! He has your suitcase." It's like, what the hell? And then the police came and we saw that he had the trolley inside of the suitcase. So, I mean, to me,
Imagination to power. Yeah,
that's when I say that some people deserves an Academy Award.
yeah,
Hey, they thought the but if you leave your trolley 1 second, somebody might do something like that. So to me,
yeah,
that's wow, mind blowing.
yeah.
What about you, Jorge? Do you have a story?
Mine was the situation was old style. Just snitch the bag, but it was in a very naive moment of that person. It was a lady. I felt really sorry for her. She was from Iowa or Iowa. I don't know how you pronounce that. And then I remember it was her very first trip abroad. Oh my goodness, how many years from, I don't know, maybe 2006, 7, I cannot remember. It was in Lisbon, near the monastery of the Jerónimos. There are several cafes where they sell the famous
The pastel de Belén.
yeah, pastéis de Valencia. They're beautiful. So there are several cafes down there, and she was drinking a coffee, and her purse was on top of the table, drinking a coffee and eating one of those cakes. And it was a couple of guys in a motorbike, in a scooter, and obviously they passed first. I didn't see the scene, but it's the only way, and that's how they work. They pass first, and they find the target. So they just return, and is when they are ready to action, snatch it, and it was just a split of a second. I was inside of the cafe with a colleague, and then suddenly we heard someone screaming outside, "Help! Help! Help!" Wow, wow. And then obviously we looked out, and it happened that that lady was part of my group. So immediately I just went out. What happened? My purse, my purse, my purse. I said, okay, your purse. What's the matter? What's your purse? It's gone. It's gone. Oh, please call the police. Call the police. Look, that lady had all her credit and debit cards in the purse, her house key. I mean, it was many years ago, as I told you, because she even had a little photo album of her family, not the smartphone. Okay, I can't remember if she had a phone in those days or not. But anyway, she also had, including her car keys. And then, of course, you're not going to say to the person at that moment, I told you this and that, because they get even more upset. And you have to get, you are in a very delicate position at that moment. Okay. We are in a very delicate
Yeah.
position that we need to be uh, compassionate, but at the same time supportive. And that is a very
Thin
difficult way
line.
to
Yes.
balance. Okay. Okay, listen, it's done. There's nothing we can do now. So let's try to find a solution. And even though the lady was on the verge of a nervous breakdown, so
Mhm.
we managed with my colleague. She helped me, thank goodness, just to calm her down. Nobody told her anything, and she went inside the shop to get her one of those chamomile teas to calm her
It's
down,
calming down and
etc., etc. So we called the police, and I mean, the police never came because they're used to that. Okay, so you have to go
unfortunately.
physically to a police station and do all the reports, and then deal with the entire situation when you are back home. In case that you have travel insurance, that by the way, we strongly recommend you to get a travel insurance when you travel. Okay, that's very important. Get a travel insurance. So later on, when everything was calmed down and we were just on the way to somebody somewhere else, my colleague and I, my local guide in Lisbon, and I, we were talking about how can you have your entire life inside of your purse at the other side of the world?
No need.
No need
Leave it at
to.
the hotel.
So we are
Yes.
not saying here um, just to tell you what you have to do. These are just advices
Yes.
based in personal experiences that, I mean, even including myself, Francisco, even last year when I went to Barcelona. I mean, Barcelona to me is like anywhere else in Spain, like in Madrid. I know every single corner, where to turn, and I'm always aware of everything. So I just go to the train station, and there was a kind of, I think, like a traffic jam. And I told the taxi driver from the train station, okay, just leave me in this corner because my place is just a block away. So I walk. The moment I stepped out of the taxi, I noticed a couple of guys that they were looking at me. So after 3 steps that I took with my bag and my backpack, excuse me, I saw them through a window reflected that they were following me. You know what I did? I just
Turn
got my,
around and confront them.
no, I didn't, no, that's one of the things you cannot do, confront them. Okay. So
Oof.
what I did is I just got my phone out and I started recording just around them, not focusing into them, but just around them, recording, stopping. They're not silly, they're not stupid. They know that
Yeah.
I have noticed their presence, and guess what? They simulated that they were talking among each other, and then they just turned away and went.
Right. Yep.
So be a little bit on guard. Don't be panicking all the time, but it's one of the things
Yep.
that unfortunately we have to deal with. Lisbon, big
Oh,
cities, Lisbon,
big
Rome,
cities.
Paris,
Anything.
Berlin, in
Yeah,
some
and
places.
it's and even in smaller cities now we
Yeah.
do have.
Oh, wait a minute. Now that you mentioned smaller cities, there is a team of pickpockets that they commute from Madrid to Toledo on weekends.
Okay. So city like Toledo, that it's small, they visitors, even commuters
Yeah.
are pickpocketers.
They
So yeah,
commute, they commute, and everybody, of course, Toledo is a small town, uh, but there are hundreds and I would say thousands of visitors in the peak season per day. So all the local guides, they do know who are those pickpockets. The same as in Segovia. And I mean, Segovia, oh, that is fantastic. I love Segovia because the
oh,
moment you see
beautiful.
one, because haven't you developed like a sixth sense?
Oh, God. I
Yeah,
mean, that's why we want to do these podcasts because we are so
yeah,
used to
yeah.
travel and see like
Mhm.
you look like tourist, you're just getting way too close to my group,
Yeah.
you're a pickpocketer. No, I'm not. It's like get out. So
Yeah.
yes, it's we have an instinct. Obviously,
There
it's
is
impossible to
there is one
control.
thing that I say to one of those that they're trying to get into my group. My approach is to my people, I just tell them whatever. I say, oh, just excuse me a second. And without turning my whisper system off, because I want my group to listen to what I'm saying, even if it is in Spanish, I say, excuse me, this is a private group. So please, if you don't mind, just move a little bit apart because what I'm saying, you're not allowed to hear. Huh? And it depends how you react. In Segovia, for instance, if you call the police immediately, within 2 minutes, they are there.
They're there.
They're there. So they are gone within a split of a second. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
one of the things I love about Segovia. But as we're saying, it is all over. It's a global thing as well,
Yeah, it's
right?
a global thing. I mean,
It's a
it's
global. Yeah,
Europe, it's Middle East, it's America, South America, everywhere. It's
yeah.
something that pickpockets are everywhere. We just need to be a little bit wiser. And yes, they have 100,000 million ways of
100,000 million ways.
100,000 million ways to pickpocket. Okay, I have one that I saw in Paris,
Hmm.
right behind the opera, Opera
Yeah,
Garnier.
the Opera House.
So
Yeah.
it was such a clever way to pickpocket people. It sounds horrible, okay?
Well,
But it
no,
was
tell
very
me. I
clever.
want to learn.
What they did, it was this guy begging for money. He was like looking like not good, and he had a little can, metallic can, but that can was not placed in front of him. It was in the middle of a very busy sidewalk. And you're like, what is that? To me, I realized that something was weird because it didn't make sense for that box asking for money where he left it.
Yeah.
So suddenly I realized that boom, somebody hit it, the can, and what do you do? A normal human being, if you see somebody begging for money and you have heated a can with coins, what do you do? You
Help them out.
help this person
Yeah.
get those little coins and put them back on the can. Well, in the moment this lady heated the can, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Oh, désolé, désolé. Okay, I'm sorry, sorry, sorry. She went to pick up. Two other people came to help her pick up the coins on the floor. One of the two was picking up things from the floor. The other one was picking up things from her purse.
Teams.
Teams, I mean, they do such
Teamwork.
an
That's called
amazing
teamwork.
job. I mean, on a very bad but real teamwork. So
Yeah.
please be wiser. And if you see something strange, acknowledge that it's not normal. There might be a team around us, right?
Yeah.
So again, we don't want to stress anybody. We don't want people to freak out and not come anywhere around the world. But it's something that you just need to be wise about and enjoy the city and the culture
Yeah. Yeah.
everywhere around the
Just
world.
try to be a little bit on guard. Okay.
Yeah,
It's like when you are home and you go to Costco to do your shopping, you don't leave your bag and attend it.
there we go.
Okay. And also, they are not violent. They are wise.
They're wise.
They're wise. Yeah,
They're
they're
wise.
very, very wise. I mean, obviously, if it is dark at night and you get in red light districts and everything, I mean, that happens to you, that happens to me, that could happen to anyone. It
Yeah,
could be attacked or being in danger.
but
But
yeah, but
you are not,
we're
you are on
talking
holidays. You don't need to go to those places, all right?
we're talking about pickpocketing,
Yeah,
lifting your purse out of a table.
yeah,
That's what we're talking about.
yeah.
So I
Hmm.
hope we have helped our listeners.
Yeah.
If you guys, girls, if you got one idea out of all of this, if you learned a little
Even
trick
even if
about,
you have tricks, please share with us. Yeah,
please share them with us. And if you have learned something, please give us a thumb up and subscribe to our channel. No
that's true.
matter if it's YouTube, if it's Spotify or Amazon or whatever platform you're using, please subscribe to our channel. We love it. And Jorge, what an interesting talk this week.
Yeah, it was. I was a little bit concerned about this, like thinking, "Hey, are we gonna scare our people here? Do we focus this?" Hey, guys, you are using your time and money to travel to places that you don't know, to learn other cultures, to eat food that you're not used to, and to learn. Don't let them ruin your your time. Just follow
Great.
basic advices, okay? Just I mean, I just love the idea of what you said, Francisco, about the shoe in the in the safety deposit box. Oh, I love it. I'm gonna make it from now on. And yeah, I mean, I love that, and I think we've done a good thing now the way we have developed this issue, right? Okay, and well, out there, as Francisco said, encourage your friends to listen to our podcast, subscribe, like, share, etc. And from this week, and from me, this is everything I have to say for now. This is not a threat, but a promise. We will be back next week. Bye bye, chicos.
Thank you, Jorge. We shall see each other next week. Adios, amigos.
Bye.
Bye.
And as usual, we want to thank all our listeners for being there every week, letting us sharing our talks. Follow us in Spanish Loops in Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcast, or your favorite platform.
And in Instagram, you can find us as the Spanish Loops Podcast, no spaces, all together. If you want to find us the quickest way, just Google Spanish Loops Podcast and you will find us. Hasta la vista, amigos.
See you next week.